Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm cast this side of East Yorkshire. And today we have a 1 vs 1 on Deadly Fun Archaeology. Over in the Imperial Guard corner we've got Mad's SimiliXV, and over in the Ork corner we have got Funeral. Funeral is going to go for a singular Slugger Boy squad, Grot squad and a Boys Hut, whereas Imperial Guard are going to go for double Guardsman, Tech Priest Engine Seer, Infantry Command and a Plasma Generator. So this is my favourite matchup, Orks versus Imperial Guard, on my favourite map, Deadly Fun Archaeology. I do quite like this map as it is just a wide map with lots of avenue of attacks. We've got 1, 2, 3 little choke points over here for defensive purposes, but big wide open space in the middle, which is difficult to defend, especially these further on strategic points over here and critical, surrounded by negative cover. So yeah, very cool, very nice map, very interesting to see these players. I do quite like Simili's little banner, the little Mad banner going on over there. I do believe that Mad is a clan, or as we've seen a couple of their players on this channel before, and they're all very, very good players. In fact, Funeral is also a good player. I think both of these players are MMR 2000, so expecting some good build orders and good players. Imperial Guard versus Orks, both players have got lots of avenues of approach that they can go for their build orders and their tech. I mean, obviously Imperial Guard, they can go for mass infantry, grenade launchers. Orks can go for shooters with their big shooters. But then again, you've got flash kits, you've got knobs. From the Imperial Guard side, you've got your heavy weapons teams, you've got your chimeras. So lots of different avenues. Very difficult to predict how these kinds of games are going to go for both of these players. Command squad now on the field will try and get into the base, see what he can bash, but a couple of shooter boys and a listening post, which will soon be upgraded, will prevent them from pushing in a bit too far. Priest about to pop for the command squad. Big mech on his way as well. Guardsmen have gone for this central point over here in the middle. Will help them keep this side of the middle point well defended. Will also be upgraded as well. Shooter boys going to be firing into these guardsmen. Command squad going to move in. Priest in turret. Bash around these shooter boys. No questions asked. Big mech now going to jump in. Focus his attention on this command squad. Shooter boys going to also focus on the command squad as well. Priest going to be brought down very, very low. Picked up by the power claw of the big orc mech. Tossed asunder after a couple of bashes around the face. Going into that sweet night. Priest is going to be replaced as soon as possible. Looking a little bit vulnerable are these guardsmen at the moment. Even with the big mech not going into close combat, he does a fair whack at ranged with that pistol of his. But the Orks will fall back. They've done the damage they need. They've killed a priest. They've killed a couple of guardsmen. No point in pushing in too far, as the guardsmen can just jump into this listening post and provide a lot of DPS within the safety of that bunker. Commas are now out on the field. The Orks do look like they're going to try and capture this critical location in the middle. Remember that not only are the critical locations good for general vision and whatnot, they do also give you a little bit of blue money on top of that. And Orks are very blue money dependent on the early game, as their units do tend to die a little bit easy. But then again, I suppose so are the guardsmen, so will be interesting to see who can keep their economy safe and sound for as long as possible. 80 and 10 at the moment, 86 and 10. So both players keeping up with their economy. Pile of guns about to finish for the Orks. Once that's done, we will probably see some big shooters. Do quite like how the Ork player only opened up one Slugger Boy squad. Bit slow on getting all these points up and running. But I mean, look at these. Loads of upgrades on the listening posts already. So they are settling in for the long game, I do believe. Will be one strategic point behind, as the guardsmen do have this point here. So the Orks will have to at least bash one listening post for now, just to stay on equal terms with the guardsmen. Going to start bashing that listening post, but the command squad coming in with a new priest and psyker will zap that big mech, bringing his health down to half. Guardsmen now coming in for flanking manoeuvre. Big mech going to teleport away. Shooter boys going to fall back into this heavy cover. Guardsmen do have numerical advantages there. The Orks are going to be getting up their big guns. Already got one big shooter online. Already can see that extra DPS taking a toll on the guardsmen. Command squad going to chase this big mech all the way home. And without the supporting fire of the shooter boys, that big mech is not going to have a grand old time. Going to go for some storm boys now. And for some heavy boy armour. These storm boys, being heavy infantry, are going to be able to go toe-to-toe with these guardsmen, even with their numerical advantage. Tactical control now online. Going to go for some more plasma generators. Storm boys jumping in, smashing anything and everything within their path. Grenade launchers now going for the guardsmen. Will be ideal at taking out these shooter boys, but the storm boys not so much. But the ranged power of the command squad is able to take a toll on these storm boys' numbers. They will have to get a good decent amount more lads in that squad before they're able to stay a consistent amount of time in combat. More war banners going up. One more war banner, it will be tier 2 for them. Have they gone for their tier 2 yet? No, they haven't got a satellite dish in their base yet, so no tier 2 for the guardsmen as of yet. Storm boys though, a bit premature. Like I said, they will need some more lads in those squads. But it does appear to me that the Orc player is trying to keep his units as small as humanly possible going into tier 2. We'll probably be spending it on some other bits and bobs. There we go, we're going to go straight in for a mech shop. So, probably focusing on their vehicle play going into the mid-game, based on the size of these units. Storm boys jumping in once again. Shooters firing away at a distance. 3 big shooters in total. Morale being broken. Commissar can't quite inspire his men with murder as of yet, until they get up in the tech tree. 104 and 20 to 98 and 40. Tier 2 now popping for the Imperial Guard. And even though they've got listening post advantage, the lack of upgrades that they've got going on, they are a little bit behind the economy of the Orcs. Mech shop being finished, war truck going to be built up. So I imagine they're going to pop these shooter boys in the war truck and just manoeuvre them around the defensive structures of the Imperial Guard. I imagine if they just go in, pop out, big mech as well in tow, bash these plasma generators and come out. If I was a betting man, that would be the play to make. There we go, one more truck being finished. Going to use his go faster ability to, well, how else would we say, to go faster. And there we go, quite like that. In, out, shake it all about. Taking out a fair number of guardsmen. And while this is going on, two-pronged attack. Slugger boys and big mech, and storm boys, using their range capabilities to bash this listening post. But mind you, these shooter boys staying a little bit too long. Will almost get squad wipe. They do a fair number of damage to these Imperial Guard over here. Now they're going to focus on over here. Firing away at this listening post will take it down. Shooter boys going to jump straight back into that war truck as the slugger boys decap this strategic point over here. Critical location still within the control of the Orcs. And the Orcs do have a critical location countdown going on. The Imperial Guard will have to respond to that at some point. Shooter boys and storm boys now focusing on this listening post. So Imperial Guard, without their chimeras, are going to be struggling to keep up with the Orc player in the grand scheme of things. Going to try and prevent the slugger boys from capping this strategic point down here. Yeah, it does seem like with the mobility of the Orcs, the Imperial Guard will have to get some chimeras on as quick as you like. Priest now being recruited for the guardsmen. The God Save the Emperor ability, they will be able to weather the storm of these shooter boys and storm boys for a little while. Heavy bolter turret being upgraded with some missiles. Having a few pot shots as that war truck goes by. One big benefit to having a big mech as a commander unit is that You are able to repair your war trucks as and when you feel like it. Just missile launcher. Doing a bit of damage to this war truck. We'll have to be careful with it. You don't want to lose your war truck in the midst of battle. Commissar now inspiring his lads. Slugger Boy's been thrown away almost. Is that to free up some squad cap? No, not to free up some squad cap, but to be honest, the sheer amount of float going on over here, Orks will need to start spending their money. They are going to go for some war tracks. There's war tracks? Yeah, war tracks. Potentially maybe saving their money up for some big units later on. Tank busters on the field have been upgraded with their infiltration research. With just over 1 minute left to spare, Imperial Guard are going to decap that critical location, preventing the critical location victory for the Orks.
Until take and hold victory.
Some Chimeras now out to play. Rock squad around the parts, trying to fix up these war trucks. Cast machine spirit going on that war truck. Oops, misclick there. Triple Chimeras on the way for the Imperial Guard. They will recap this listing post. So the Orks will have to use their tank busters and their war trucks to their advantage to take care of these Chimeras if they want to remain the more mobile force. But we will just have to see if that's even possible. These Chimeras tanking the amount, the lion's share of damage, shall we say, from the Orc side. These war trucks are not looking very healthy at the moment. We'll see some more tank busters. Listing post over here being shot down quick, sharpish. Imperial Guard now pushing in on the top middle side of the map. More tank busters now out on the field. But yeah, these war trucks are being pushed back quite considerably. I imagine that the Guardsmen have also gone for some upgrades. Death Before Dishonor will increase their morale. I imagine they've also got some range DPS upgrades on the go as well. War truck, or war track. Tank a little damage, bit of a waste going on there. Although I suppose that the Orc player is trying to keep the Imperial Guard away for long enough so these war trucks can be repaired. Killer cans now on the way. War banners going to be built up to increase the vehicle cap of the Orcs. Got some heavy weapons teams being built up over here, as well as a heavy bottle turret. So Imperial Guard going for an aggressive defensive stance. The best offense is a good defense, so they say. Double Chimeras pushing into the base. The Killer Can going to move in, trying to see if he can get into close combat to spank these Chimeras. Very tanky unit this lad is. He's only going to focus on ranged combat at the moment. Probably doesn't want to focus on melee until there's enough ranged support nearby. Another war track just being a nuisance on the bottom side of the map. With only being like a light vehicle, won't stand up to the grenade launchers of these guardsmen. Will manage to take down one Chimera, but getting taken down in itself. Another Chimera also been taken down. That's a lot of resources lost from the Imperial Guard just then. Now good to go for some Bassies. Do quite like this, a solid line of defence for the Imperial Guard. Get a couple of Basilisks on the go to keep them safe. Not sure what happened to Storm Boys. I assume that Storm Boys died at some point in one of those engagements earlier on. Killer Can going to slice about this heavy bottle turret. Will deny that. Tech Priest engines here also being taken down. 112 and 60 compared to 117 and 50. So very even economies at the moment. killer can has decided that a killer can't. Hey, and then starts. Sorry about that. Starts moving away from the last gunfire of the heavy weapons team. Although look at the range on that bad boy. Will manage to take that can all the way to the trash can. Wait, there we go. Look at that. We're full of puns today, boys and girls. Listing post over here being repaired. Flash kits on the way. We do have tier 3 for the Orc player at the moment. I'm wondering, I'm hoping that we will see that upgrade for the Orcs where their Slugger Boys become free. Whenever I play the game, and it is a very rare occasion that I do actually play Soulstorm, or any of the mods for that matter, because I'm a busy man, I don't really have that much time to play games all that much. I always go for Orcs, and my strategy is always to go for that upgrade from the power guns where you're able to get unlimited Slugger Boys for free. It's the most empowering feeling to just build up a whole bunch of boys huts and just spam Slugger Boys into the base. Chaos Machine Spirit on the war truck will prevent it from manoeuvring around. Shooter Boys without any big shooters at the moment, but they will not need to as the Flash Kits with their fighting juice. We're firing away into this Chimera. Only a limit of 2 on these Flash Kits. Warboss now on the field as well. Don't normally see him. Very, very good unit. It does have the ability to activate War, which does just as a general overall buff for anything and everything from the Orc side. Big Shooter's going to try and shoot down this last cannon heavy weapons team. Will get them down. Flash Kits firing away as best they can. Being bashed around by the grenade launchers. Basilisk on the back flank, firing away into the Shooter Boys. While not incredible in the DPS department, as we've said before on this channel, sometimes what you need is that you don't need your DPS. You need to knock people on their backsides, as when they are on the floor they are not firing. So Bastards will do a little bit of DPS then, but also reduce their overall amount of DPS that they can bring to bear. Warboss going to tank a lot of the damage. Will be zapped by this Psycho over yonder. Will have to fall back. His doom has been witnessed by the command squad. Second Bassi on the field. And the Orcs are going to be pushed back. Second Flashkit squad on the field. Fighter bomber now out for the wonderfully slow missiles that just follow all the way. Doesn't do an incredible amount of damage to vehicles, but to infantry it's going to be absolutely devastating. So I imagine for the Imperial Guard at the moment, probably their main ideal strategy to go for would be maybe some Lehman Russes, some Ogrins, some what do you call them? Not Catachans, the Cassicans. There we go, Cassicans on the way. Some elite infantry. Warboss does go down. We've yet to see a Warboss make a significant impact in a game on this channel so far, which is a shame. I'd like it if in one of the mods, I don't know which one you pick a mod, but you know, like every faction's they've got their main hero unit and they've got their secondary hero unit. I would be quite interested to see what a game would look like if both hero units were available from the start of the game, and then that way you'd be able to see more flexibility in the way of which leader you would build an army around. But I suppose that would be overpowered for some factions. In Imperial Guard, what their secondary commander unit is the Vindicare Assassin, which would be absolutely deadly in the early game, especially against Orks. Anyway, Fire Bomber absolutely exploding all these guys around. Priest uses God Save the Emperor ability, will keep them safe and sound for a little while, soaking up all the damage from the flash kits. Just see a huge, bloody hell, a huge explosion from the burner bomb of the Mad Doc. Absolutely devastating, taking out the Chimera and a whole smorgasbord of those guardsmen. God blimey, that was probably the best burner bomb I've seen in forever, I suppose. Imperial Guard looking a little bit more fragile, 98 and 59, sorry, to 118 and 78. So economic advantage firmly in the Orc camp. And with very little on the field, to be honest. I mean, you don't see all that much. Got a sizable amount of shooter boys down on the southern flank. Going to push into the soft underbelly of the guardsman's position. Lots of their missile launcher turrets have been destroyed. The basilisks will be able to provide defensive capabilities for the Imperial Guard across the map, regardless of where they are. Full-scale war being researched for the guardsmen. So Lehman Russes, no doubt, will be on the field. Lots of tank busters to contend with there. Mad Doc going to be replaced from the settlement. Do apologise, I will take a swig of water as my mouth is feeling very, very dry. Trying to record all my games in one day this week, as I've got quite a busy week today. And no amount of alcohol keeps your throat dry. Does make you a little bit more thirsty. Orks slowly but surely gaining map dominance, taking over this little quadrant of the map. Guardsmen being pushed into their little corner. More commissars being researched. 145 blue money. That is a scary amount for the Orc player. Going to go for extra vehicle armour on top of that. Just a humble 100 blue money for the Imperial Guard. Will need to break out of their defence at some point. Lehman Russ is now on the field. Don't have that much in the way of green money at the moment there. So will be a while before they get a full complement of Lehman Russes out on the field.
Victory countdown has begun.
Victory countdown for the Orcs. 7 minutes for the guardsmen to pull something out of the bag.
Left, right, left. Sir, yes, sir. My mind bears a great what are your orders?
Imperial Guard going to try and recapture the strategic point down here, but it is defended by these shooter boys. The second shooter boy squad will come in, probably push these guys off. Command squad firing away a Valkyrie, smack bang into the middle of that shooter boy. That is a wonderful amount of damage being done there.
My mind bears a great pain.
But they will not be able to capture that strategic point anytime soon. Cassikins moving to the top middle. Will bash around that listening post, quick sharpish. War truck now going to jump in and deposit a bunch of flash gates. And riding solo without multiple layers of fire, the Orcs are going to be able to 1v1 many of the guardsmen's units at the moment. Lehman Russ almost been finished, but there is a squad cap going on for them, so we'll need to build up a second mechanised command.
Long have I wished to serve under you, sir.
Not sure where that missile was going from that fighter bomber. Thought I was going to fire out that basilisk, but missing anything and everything. God save the Emperor ability going on these Cassikins. So they're going to lead the charge into the Orc formations. Looted tank going up against Lehman Russ battle tank. Tank on tank action. If World of Tanks do want to sponsor this video, please throw us an advertisement slot. Flash gets moving into the bottom flank.
5 minutes until take and hold victory.
Shooter boys trying to decap that relic over yonder. After they see that Mars pattern command going down, they don't want to keep that relic online. If they can deny it, that would be ideal for them. Basilisk's now been shot at by these flash gates, and it's not looking pretty at all for the guardsmen. They're holding as best they can. Second Lehman Russ out on the field. And these boys do pack quite the punch. These flash gates seem to be dealing quite all right the damage. Lots of Daka from the flash gates and the whoever's the... Oh, we do have a banner bomb going on down here. Not quite as impressive as the last one, granted, but... Yeah, it seems like that after losing all their guardsmen, the Imperial player decided to not remake all his guardsmen, which is questionable at the very least. He does have quite the resource at the moment. It does seem like he was saving up for that Baneblade, but narrowly losing that relic might cost him the match. Without that Bane Blade coming online, it's not ideal. Another looter tank has been reinforced. Oh dear, oh dear. Squiggoff now moving out on the field. Yeah, that's it. That's it for the Imperial Guard. There's nothing that they've really got to answer the call of the Squiggoff. The moment he'll see this, he'll probably think, nah, mate, no need for this. And throw out that GG. I mean, what else can you do? Heavy weapons team out on the field will be able to push back these flash gates. But the Squiggoff with his range capability, finding away with his big zappy gun on the top, destroying this listening post, one zap at a time. One Basilisk seems to have gone the way of the dinosaur. Lehman Russ being fired up at by the tank busters.
What would you have me
And SimiliXV throws out the GG. So I mean, it could have gone either way, especially even during that last bit, because if the Imperial Guard player could have got that Bane Blade online just a little bit earlier, just at the same time as the Squiggoff, build up some guardsmen on the back of that, I reckon he could have pulled it back a little bit. But the economy of the Orks was a bit too much to deal with towards the end. Cool, anyway, my name's been Mr. Landshark, pleasure as always, never short, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace.